Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your brother in the struggle coming right back at you once again, bringing you this extremely important truth in these last days of human existence upon this planet. I want you to understand as to how you've been manipulated and how has humanity become a prisoner of itself on this planet. Do not accept things as they are. Do not give in. Always understand what is going on, the realities of things in terms of in terms of the prophecies that were prophesied for these very last days, ladies and gentlemen. The reality is that we, as a creation, have violated every rules in the book and out of the book. We have violated every book of every rule when it comes to life itself. We humanities don't deserve life on this planet. The reason that the Creator hasn't destroyed this planet yet is because everything is going to happen according to His plan, not yours. Everything's got to happen gradually at a certain time, in a certain place, until prophecies are fulfilled. And not only that, but He's got to get His people out of harm's way when it comes to the changing of the changing of others, of the others upon this planet. Let me just give you an example. People are, for instance, people are waiting in Israel, the Israelite, the fake Israelite, in the Holy Land, are waiting for their Rabbi, which is really going to be the Antichrist. People are always looking for some force out of this world to help them with humanity's problem. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, the solution to the problem are within you. To make your problems even worse are within you, based upon your decision. Let me read some of this thing. Let us go to, you got to understand that we've been living under a lie. So, as I'm going to prove to you that we've been living under a lie, so why would you trust a system that has been lying to you always? About the order of things, about the very nature of life itself. Well, just live your life. Survival of the fittest. This is a jungle. You understand? Do what thou wilt shall be the law of the land. That's a satanic philosophy that the powerful and the famous that be, the powers that be, and the famous live by. Let me read some of these things. Prisoners of planet Earth. There is no doubt that we live in a world that lives upside down, topsy-turvy. Up is down, down is up, and humanity has become a prisoner of its own making. And when humanity is locked up in its thinking, or lack thereof, it is bound for self-destruction. In fact, humanity has run away from itself only to find, humanity has always run away from itself only to find itself right back where it started from, in worse shape than in a worse shape in a worse shape than it was before. Humanity, again, has always tried to find meaning, has always tried to look for something away from itself. That's why he has always worshipped gods. From Sumeria to the Babylon Empire, Egyptian dynasty, the Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, and the Roman Empire. I have explained that to you. You cannot deny, you cannot erase truth, you cannot erase history. That is the reality, ladies and gentlemen. Humanity has always worshipped gods. It has experimented with drugs. It has given itself up to spirit through the practice of witchcraft and Satanism. Invented religions. He has entertained himself with all kinds of music. He came up with a very big lie of the political realm, making its people believed of the that the vote count through psychological game, through the psychology of deceit, when in reality, leaders are selected and not elected. Humanity has practiced dictatorship throughout its history to have control over the masses, over its people. Because remember, power corrupts absolutely. It has practiced human sacrifices, which, by the way, it has a license to do it. It has a license now in this current world that we live in through the practice of abortion. But then asks its youth to value life. Asks its young people in society to value life. What a joke. And now, as it was in 1918 with the Spanish influenza, it thinks it can save itself out of this experiment that it finds itself in. But it won't, and it can't. For the reality is that we die every day. The reality is, let me repeat that to you again. The reality is that we die every day we live. And by controlling, conforming, manipulating, intimidating one another, by exploiting the divisions created by the power that be through organizations such as Black Lives Matter, Antifa, the Proud Boys, etc., which, like communism, Marxism, socialism, Nazism, capitalism, are all feathers of the same bird. Talk about control opposition. That is a very perfect example of it. The reality is that humanity has created a big problem for itself. For humanity itself is the problem upon this earth. And our bloody history does not lie. And in fact, it is the intangible past. It is this very intangible past which is our own own worst witness against us. Throughout human history, when we try to make things better, we actually make them worse. As it was in the birth of the nuclear age, he ended World War II. He ended the Second War. But back in 1945? But then, look what it did. It threatens all of mankind and all organism on this earth. You understand? You are understanding me, or do you want more? All right, let's keep on reading. We lie. Let me give you some example of these lies. We lie our way to the moon because the whole world believed it and swallowed the lie, and it was glued to all of humanity's conscience as true. And until today, it has been believed as true, which really doesn't make any sense, because you got to understand the nature of the moon, the purpose, how the moon was, what the moon was created for. It is a light to shine in the night sky, and the sun to shine in the day. Okay? You cannot land on it. And the same thing happened with the theory of evolution, which is being taught, with the satanic theory of evolution, which has been taught. And we forget how this whole theory began. It came from a man in England, Charles Darwin. He was so bored out of his mind that the devil inspired this man, being the eugenics that he was. Okay, because he was a eugenicist, which is making the white race the perfect, the all perfect race, the pure race. You understand? Let's go. Okay, so the eugenicist that he was, ladies and gentlemen, he went around the world for 5 years in his boat, which I believe was called the Beagle, until he stopped in the Galapagos. And bingo, right there, human history was made. And he wrote a book, The Origin of Species. And ever since then, people have swallowed and believed that lie once again. Because by nature, ladies and gentlemen, we human beings like to believe the lies than the truth. Why? Because the truth goes through 3 stages. Don't forget. Okay? First, the truth is ridicule. 2, and you can Google it. 2, it is violently opposed. 3, it is accepted as being self-evident. Okay? So, here we go. And the same thing happened with the theory of evolution. That the earth, and the other thing is that the earth is round. It's a globe, when in reality it's flat. Or that we are moving at a speed of 60,000 miles per hour around the sun. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? Don't you feel the earth moving at 66,000 miles per hour every day? What a freaking joke, ladies and gentlemen. And we have followed through because we don't bother to do any research. We don't bother to read. I've been at this for many, many, many years, ladies and gentlemen. I know how the human mind works. I can tell you how our first parents upon this earth were deceived. And and the purpose of these videos is to show you how men have run away with this and have taken control over the whole earth. Here we go. And the rich and the powerful of this world don't care, for they know that the power of lie and deceit has made them rich, which means power over the control masses or over the control sheepfolds. So we have lived under lies upon lies ever since so we have lived under lies upon lies ever since against our Creator we went by disobeying. And the God of this world, the devil, Satan, works through government, always making you think that they have your best interest in mind. While they legalize drugs to keep you docile on your way to your death. All of human history comes down to one chapter on the Bible. Because now we are living this chapter to the max. Everything went down. Everything boils down when our foremother, Eve, did the following. And having the privilege to live in this last human generation, we are really living this verse to the max, because we have been programmed to really live this moment because it is all we got. But in reality, let us go to Genesis 3, right? Genesis 3. Genesis 3, verse 6 says the following. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave it also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So you understand? Through the lies, we through the lies upon lies, we have become our worst enemies. And look at the state of our world today, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the state of our world. It doesn't lie. We are on the verge of destroying ourselves 50 times over, as if one wasn't enough. You understand? Now let us go to the fact that whether the earth moves at 66,000 miles per hour. Let us go to 1 Chronicles chapter 16. First Chronicle chapter 16. First Chronicles chapter 16 verse 30th. 30. It says, fear before him all the earth. The world also shall be stable, that it not be moved. You understand? Now, let's go back a little bit to Joshua. Joshua chapter 10. Joshua chapter 10, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua chapter 10. Verse 13. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon the enemy. It is not this written in the book of Joshua? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. 14. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man, for the Lord fought for Israel. 15. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp of Gilgal. So you understand, ladies and gentlemen? Now you understand what the Bible was burned back in the old days. And now you understand why it is being burned right now without actually being burning it. Okay? The Bible is being completely being burned without actually burning it. By pushing the satanic agenda everywhere. By pushing the homosexuality agenda. By manipulating this whole world. Okay? Through this experiment, through this pandemic that we are living on, that we are going through. Now you tell me, ladies and gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong. Please do. Leave your comments. If you see this video, if what I'm about to tell you isn't truth, do you think that it is a coincidence that this whole pandemic has been mismanaged? In many ways. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please. What I talk about here is because I love humanity. I do these videos out of love. Okay? And I respect the authorities. And I obey their laws. But when it comes to their laws interfering with the relationship with my Creator, then we have a problem. Because no drugs. I don't do no drugs. I used to be a drug dealer back in New York at the time. But that's the past. I'm a new man. God gave me a second chance. And I can tell you, okay? I can tell you, no drugs goes into this body. No drugs whatsoever. The only drugs that I take is from the Holy Spirit. Hallelujah. You understand? So this knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, is the reality that we have always been lied to. That's why I call this pandemic a plandemic, because that's what it is. Okay? And being the humans that we are, we always mess things up. We always mismanage things. We always confuse the masses by design. Because the more confused people are, the more they believe a lie the more power and control you have over them. It's like a hypnotic people. That's why America is under a spell. It has been under a spell for many, many, many years. I mean, to this day, they think with all this scandals about voting. Remember all the scandals? All the scandals that went around? Ladies and gentlemen, your votes don't count. The powers that be, the Federal Reserve, which has nothing to do with the United States government, except lending money to it. It has nothing to do with the government. It's an entity all on its own. You understand? The Federal Reserve, but it controls, because money talks in every society. And they have that 70-year dementia. Joe Biden, his name is Joe Biden, who doesn't know. I mean, he gaffles all the time. He even fell the other day going up on his airplane. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a freaking joke. But then America is bound to be destroyed anyway. So it's good. It serves the purpose. America is going to be, and you talk about Donald Trump. Oh, Donald Trump is coming back. Yeah, he's running back on the 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how fast the demons move? Do you know how fast prophecy moves and works? Do you know that the Bible clearly says? You understand? Let me take you to Matthew 24 once again before I leave you here. Matthew 24, verse 22, it says the following: and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So, what am I saying to you here? What am I trying to say by reading you this verse? Matthew 24, verse 22. The time flies. Forget about Donald Trump coming back, because he already done enough damage. He divided the people. That was his job. Enough is enough. You understand? He was the enough is enough president. He divided the United States even more. And then now comes Grandpa trying to unite the people. By the way Grandpa Biden is going about it, again, by design, it is terribly disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this one more time. I can never stop saying, all of Americans' presidents have all been Freemasons. Right there, that alone should tell you something. Do you think that George Washington was your first president? That's a lie within the many lies that I just told you. You think that George Washington was your first president, right? That's a big lie. Do your research. There were 16 presidents before him. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have all been lied to. You have all been worked. And America is about to blow up, ladies and gentlemen, very soon. God is going to make sure that America is punished. Is America stronger than God? Because it is the second beast of the Bible mentioned in chapter 13, Revelation chapter 13, starting in verse 11. It speaks of both beasts. The first beast from verse 1 to chapter 11, which is the Roman Catholic Church. We all know this. And very soon, Sunday law will be upon us. You remember? What did I say? That this whole world is upside down. They're pushing. They know that Sunday wasn't authorized by the Bible. It is a Roman Catholic Church ordinance. They made Sunday the Sabbath day, the first day of the week, when in reality it's the 8th. It's the day of rest, when God resting out of all His creation, the God family. So this is all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this will be helpful. Please do not forget the links that I will share, that I will send you along with this video, because I prove all things. Thank you. God bless.